Hello, students. How are you? I hope all of you are healthy and happy with your family. We are going to take up the third part of this short story, The Rat Trap, written by the Swedish writer Selma Lagerlöf, a Nobel laureate at that. We learned that how the poor peddler, poor as in monetarily, the poor peddler was treated very kindly by the old crofter, unlike the people who would always chase him away. But when he received a chance to be kind to the person who was good to him, he did not take that chance positively and stole the 30 kroner from the crofter's house and ran away inside the forest. But when he was roaming inside the forest, trying to find the way out, he could not. And that is when it occurred to him that he had indeed fallen into a rat trap, an impenetrable rat trap that he could not ever pass through because he had taken the bait voluntarily and now he was encircling in the same area. He thought that he might die there, but luckily he found the iron mill, the Ramsjo iron mill. He asked the permission of the master blacksmith to spend the night there, and he was given the permission to. But a strange incident happened then and there. The rich, prominent ironmaster of the Ramsjo Ironworks arrived there, and he mistook the peddler for his old acquaintance. And when we see an old acquaintance of ours in a very pathetic condition, it's very not natural for us to behave, to respond in a very sympathetic manner. We want to help that person somehow. The same happened with the ironmaster. But the peddler, let us see how he responds. But of course it is you, Nils Olof, he said. How you do look. The man with the rat traps had never before seen the ironmaster at Ramsjo and did not even know what his name was. But it occurred to him that if the fine gentleman thought he was an old acquaintance, he might perhaps throw him a couple of kroner. Therefore, he did not want to undeceive him all at once. Yes, God knows things have gone downhill with me, he said. You should not have resigned from the regiment, said the ironmaster. That was the mistake. If only I had still been in the service at that time, it never would have happened. Well, now of course you will come home with me. So, naturally, the ironmaster was ready to help. But the peddler was having those 30 kroner which he stole. How could he take the courage to go to somebody's place and be discovered as early as possible? The last paragraph. To go along up to the manor house and be received by the owner like an old regimental comrade, that, however, did not please the tramp. This is the picture of a manor house. A manor house is basically the main house on a landed estate. No, I could not think of it, he said, looking quite alarmed. He thought of the 30 kroner. To go up to the manor house would be like throwing himself voluntarily into the lion's den. He only wanted a chance to sleep here in the forge and then sneak away as inconspicuously as possible. Inconspicuously means unnoticed by anyone, because he was a thief and he was here in the small place where everyone knows everyone. He could soon be discovered. He could not dare to go to the manor house. The ironmaster assumed that he felt embarrassed because of his miserable clothing. Please don't think that I have such a fine home that you cannot show yourself there, he said. Elizabeth is dead, as you may already have heard. My boys are abroad, and there is no one at home except my oldest daughter and myself. We were just saying that it was too bad we didn't have any company for Christmas. Now come along with me and help us make the Christmas food disappear a little faster. So it was the Christmas season, and Iron Master would have been very happy to see his old acquaintance, and he wanted that old acquaintance to join him for his Christmas celebration. But the stranger said no, and again no. And the Iron Master saw that he must give in. Give in means surrender. It looks as though Captain von Stehel preferred to stay with you tonight, Stenstrom, he said to the master blacksmith, and turned on his heel. Turned on his heel is a phrase, it means sudden departure. Now, a moment ago, Iron Master was compelling the peddler to join him for the Christmas celebration, and then he suddenly gave in. But he laughed to himself as he went away, and the blacksmith, who knew him, understood very well that he had not said his last word. So it appeared that the Iron Master, with his sudden departure, was going back and would not come back to take peddler. But the master blacksmith knew very well that my master is not such a person. He would definitely come back or will do something to make this man go to his home. It was not more than half an hour before they heard the sound of carriage wheels outside the forge, and a new guest came in. But this time it was not the Iron Master. He had sent his daughter, apparently hoping that she would have better powers of persuasion than he himself. So this time it was not the Iron Master, but he sent his oldest daughter, Edla. And here you can see the daughter. It's just an illustration, but the daughter came in a carriage. It was not more than half an hour before they heard the sound of carriage wheels outside the forge, and a new guest came in, but this time it was not the Iron Master. He had sent his daughter, apparently hoping that she would have better powers of persuasion than he himself. She entered, followed by a valet, carrying on his arm a big fur coat. She was not at all pretty, but seemed modest and quite shy. In the forge, everything was just as it had been earlier in the evening. The master blacksmith and his apprentice still sat on their bench, and iron and charcoal still glowed in the furnace. The stranger had stretched himself out on the floor and lay with a piece of pig iron under his head and his hat pulled down over his eyes. As soon as the young girl caught sight of him, she went up and lifted his hat. He was covering his face while sleeping, so she came and lifted his hat. The man was evidently used to sleeping with one eye open. He jumped up abruptly and seemed to be quite frightened. Why this kind of reaction? Because he was always being chased away by the people. Nobody wanted him to sleep under their shade, near to their house, anywhere actually. "My name is Edla Wilmanson," said the young girl. "My father came home and said that you wanted to sleep here in the forge tonight. And then I asked permission to come and bring you home to us. I am so sorry, Captain, that you are having such a hard time." She looked at him compassionately with her heavy eyes, and then she noticed that the man was afraid. Either he has stolen something or else he has escaped from jail, she thought, and added quickly, "You may be sure, Captain." Here in the picture you can see a lady, and it's only to illustrate that Edla, with her compassionate attitude and her heavy eyes and the manner of her speaking, her powers of persuasion were definitely better than the Iron Master. Nobody could deny such a fine young lady. Not only because she was very modest and quite shy, no, but because of her attitude. "You may be sure, Captain, that you will be allowed to leave us just as freely as you came. Only please stay with us over Christmas Eve." She said this in such a friendly manner that the rat trap peddler must have felt confidence in her. "It would never have occurred to me that you would bother with me yourself, miss," he said. "I will come at once." So here you can see that how when he saw somebody and encountered someone who was very kind, very compassionate, and spoke with such an ease and kindness and empathy, he could not deny at all. He accepted the fur coat, which the valet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his rags, and followed the young lady out to the carriage, without granting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. So Christmas is all about family time, spending time with your family and friends, be compassionate to others, be generous towards others. This is what every festival teaches us. And that is what the Iron Master and Edla were doing too. So the peddler finally agreed to go to the manor house. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. Evil forebodings means once you already start feeling that something very wrong is going to happen. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I'm sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. Because he knew very well that once he go to the manor house, he would be discovered very soon. The next day was Christmas Eve. And when the Iron Master came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade, whom he had run across so unexpectedly. "First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones," he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. "And then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps." So this is how the father and daughter was happy enough to have someone with them who was in a very bad condition and whom they could help out too. So with this, I would like to close today's session, but before that, let's go through the character sketch of Edla. We have Edla here, and I will start from the right, that is modest and quite shy as given in the book. She had a friendly manner of speaking, because of which only the peddler instantly agreed to go to the manor house. Earlier he was not agreeing to it at all. She has a very generous attitude also. The way she was looking at the peddler, the way she was speaking, her entire demeanor was brilliant. She had a kind way of persuasion, and she finally succeeded in bringing the peddler to their home. She was very wise and graceful also. A very good judge of character. You might have seen that how she realized that either this person has stolen something or has escaped from jail. This shows that she had a better quality of judging people and their attitude than her father also, who was much older than her. And then she had a very kind demeanor. Maybe because of that the peddler agreed. But the peddler is indeed in danger. He still have those 30 kroner with him. He was in the manor house. Let's see what will happen to him. But before closing today's session, let's go through this quote. Christmas is doing a little something extra for someone. Like every festival, Christmas is also associated with kindness, generosity, helpful attitude. The Iron Master and Edla were doing that only for a poor fellow. So with this, let's close it for today, and we will go through the rest of the part of the story in the next session. Again, I would like to thank you for listening.